Okay. I'm gonna try to keep this quick, cheap, and dirty. Just to have something to shoot up on Friday. I'm late to the party. But it's that time again. Again, I'm not hopping on the boat of like, need to react to every single direct, every single game, sort of conference or show or reveal or anything like that, right? Because there's 20 million people who do that, right? You don't need what the heck? What's the point of being one more? But just like the last time I did this, they did a thing. They did some stuff here that I just needed to gush about it, because otherwise I'm gonna talk my friends' ears off ad nauseum, and I figured to spare them, I'll just get it out of my system. I'll get it out of my system here. Like, I'll move on with our day. Holy crud. They did some things in this one. I don't know, I went into this one expecting nothing, because to set this up, right, this is the last Nintendo Direct, presumably, the last Nintendo Direct for the Nintendo Switch. It seems to have all the markings of that, right? Because as we know, it's been confirmed there's a new console on its way. Probably won't be out. If it's out this year, it'll be at the very end of the year. Probably more likely beginning of next year, right? Although doing a holiday season of this year would make sense. However, so I went into this direct being like, this is gonna be the scraps, right? This is gonna be the bottom of the barrel. Like, okay, here's like a last couple things. We're just riding off into the sunset. Here's what's left on our plate. Eat this up really quick. Chew on this. We'll see you in the next console cycle, right? And then they went like pretty hard. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying there was like back-to-back absolute bangers. There's some wild things in here. I mean, there are some wild entries in here that like have their own stories sort of going on, you know what I mean? There are some things here that like, there are a lot of narratives running through a couple of the entries into this direct that I don't think anybody was ready for. And some of those things are things that I'm really interested in. Some of those things are things that I'm still thinking, I'm like dumbfounded. I'm still like, I got like the like little kid excitement over. I guess let's just get into it. The cold opener, they don't, mind you, nobody talks, nobody says anything. Just right into this. Are you out of your mind? And I saw this, and I was like, oh, this must be, this is Nintendo's doing the Trinity, right? They remastered Super Mario RPG. They remastered Thousand Year Door. They haven't done a Switch remaster, a shiny 3D one for one of the Mario and Luigi games. So that's what this is gonna be, right? And I see this and I'm like, oh yeah, this is totally what it is. And I'm like, wait, I don't recognize this though. I played the game, I don't recognize it. I'm like, oh wait, no, that looks like it might be a new thing. But no, they wouldn't do a new thing. And then I look at this and I'm like, oh, it's a new thing. I'm like, oh, it's a new thing. Oh wait, it's all a new thing. Look at the environments. Look at the unique character designs. Then they did not a remake of one of the Mario and Luigi games. A brand new one? Look at the character designs. Straight, it feels like instantly it's a classic. In the animations, look at the freaking, gosh, the freaking squash and stretch on Mario and Luigi. Everything they do has so much juice, it's crazy. Who is making this? I saw somebody say, who is the mystery team behind this one? And I'm like, honestly, yeah. Did they get Alpha Dream back? And I think that's a thing that like needs to be addressed, right? It's the fact that, yeah, Alpha Dream died pumping out remasters for the original Mario and Luigi trilogy after they made the fourth one. One that I actually never got around to playing myself. I played Partners in Time. I played Bowser's Inside Story multiple times. It's one of my favorite games, period. I started Superstar Saga, did not finish it. Need to finish it. Hey, look, it's a perfect excuse. Look at this perfect excuse to go and play through that whole quadrilogy. Quadrilogy? It's 4 games? I know, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. I would not be playing Paper Jam. I see no purpose in doing that. No thank you. Listen, you can sit here and argue with me about like, oh, is it a true legacy of the series if you're leaving out games? Yeah, so I made it up. I make up the rules, and then I do it. So, yeah. I wouldn't play Paper Jam for the same reasons why currently I'm not planning on playing anything past 1,000 Year Door. I would actually sit down and play Super Paper Mario again if there was good cause to. But that's why I'm not playing Sticker Star. I'm not playing Color Splash. I'm not even playing Origami King. I don't even think Origami King is like a bad game. It rectifies a lot of the problems that Color Splash and Sticker Star have in my eyes. I'm not touching those because those aren't the same as the 2 Paper Mario games I would be playing. Same as this. Now, does it follow the same sort of scheme, the same sort of battle system? For the most part, it has the identity of a Mario and Luigi game, but Paper Jam suffers because it was created during the Sticker Star era of Paper Mario games, which means all of the design philosophy of not design philosophy, a lot of the creative decision making of Sticker Star bled into Mario and Luigi, and I think that's a shame. All the toads are just generic normal toads. Bowser, I think Bowser is like a voiceless. They made him voiceless. He's just a voiceless antagonist. He is the antagonist, full stop. He's a voiceless antagonist, and then they. And then from what I was looking at, like the fights, a lot of the big boss fights have just a lot of gimmick stuff, a lot of really long, drawn out, quote unquote attacks, quote unquote specials that are just long, drawn out, play more like mini games, a la something like an Origami King. And it's like, no, there's no value to me. Why end on, whereas, why? Because I would do this legacy run up until Dream Team, and then what that would do is I would get to play for the first time the one that I haven't played before, much like I've done in all the other legacy runs. I've played many, or at least one game that I've never played before, never touched before. I would play Dream Team, and then that would like leave me prepared, leave Mario and Luigi, or a more recent traditional Mario and Luigi game fresh in my mind for when Brothership comes out. First off, Brothership, great name, just super fun all around. It's a fun time. But yeah, ending on Paper Jam does not feel like it would prepare me for this. Or maybe my most cynical self would say, oh, actually, maybe it is going to be the one that would prepare you for this. Maybe this one's going to have a lot in common with that one. I hope not. Doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like everything's par for the course. You know what I mean? However, this is going to be on essentially a console. Now, the Switch is also pretty much a handheld, right? But all the other Mario and Luigi games are all on handhelds. And handhelds, obviously, there are things that you can't do that maybe you could do on a console, right? You gotta sort of like diminish the scope a little bit. Bowser design. Obviously, I like this little guy. I guess what was the girl's name? Starly? No. What was the little yellow pixie bomb-omb looking thing partner that was in That was in not Thousand Year Door. That was in Bowser's Inside Story and Dream Team. Starly? Not Starly. Starfy? No. I can't remember. But that's okay. We'll find out eventually. We'll become reacquainted. Obviously, they did put Bowser has been converted into his typical his classic look that he kind of carries in all of the Mario games, regardless of what they are. A little bit of a shame. I really like how Bowser looks in the Mario and Luigi games, especially Bowser's Inside Story. I like his like cartoonier, more exaggerated proportions in that one. It's fine, it's whatever. Because I don't know if you freaking notice everything else going on here. This guy looks crazy. Mario, this looks like Mario and Luigi jumped right off of the box art for the other games. It's, I mean, it cannot be understated. Look at these boys. Look at my boys. Look how expressive they are. They look like they jumped right out of their own box art for the Mario and Luigi games, and I think that's incredible. I think this is a wonderful direction to have taken. The environments look sick. They look huge. They look expansive, which is probably where a lot of the console power and budget is coming from, or is being put towards, which is sick. I appreciate that. I love to see it. You can already see the scope is a lot larger. Saw somebody say that, like, oh, really? Like, we're getting, like, handheld gameplay? Like, that's kind of weird to see on this. I'm like, okay, well, first off, the Switch is a handheld. The Switch is a glorified handheld console. So, like, I don't, seeing the equivalent of what would be, like, a Game Boy Advance gameplay coming out of a Switch game does not surprise me, regardless of what else is on there. Like, if anything, it fits more, in my brain, it works out more than seeing something like, I don't know, Monster Hunter Rise or Tears of the Kingdom or something. But I don't know. I mean, to just cold open, no announcements, no talking, no preparation. This Alpha Dream was made to have to keep creating remakes. They had to keep remaking games for the 3DS, a console that was quickly getting weeded out and overshadowed by the Switch, because the Switch was both a handheld and an actual like main like setup on your TV console, like home entertainment system console. It is crazy that we are getting another Mario and Luigi game. It is crazy we are getting one. It's crazy that they never hinted at that ever being a possibility again. I mean, you could argue, like, oh, well, they've been setting us up with the other RPGs. Yeah, they were, in my mind, they were setting us up to get a remake for Mario and Luigi, like the other games. Or setting us up to get a new Mario RPG, which this is that, but it's specifically being Mario and Luigi. The hopes of that ever happening again were slim to none. If you asked me before the Nintendo Direct happened, if like what would have a better chance of happening, I would have told you that Star Fox getting a new game had a better chance of happening than a new Mario and Luigi game. I'm wondering if they got some of the team from Alpha Dream. I think it's a crime what happened to Alpha Dream. I think them being made to remake a bunch of games for a essentially dead or for a dying soon to be dead console in the 3DS. I think that was obviously a fast pass to bankruptcy, and I think that's a shame, because they only ever displayed an infinitesimal amount of creativity and love for the craft and love for these characters. And I think, and you can feel that same quality in this trailer, in this glimpse. Also, the fact that it was a full gameplay reveal. It wasn't just like a title. It wasn't just that opening cinematic. It's a full gameplay reveal. Jeez, it's unbelievable. I'm a part of me, you know, maybe I saw some theories floating around that, like, hey, maybe they got some of the original team. I had that passing thought, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised just given the quality of this. It would also just be really nice if they sort of recruited some of the original team members, but you know, maybe they got a brand new team who just seems to be killing it, which is also fine. I just think it's, you know, it's nice to see that Alpha Dream's memory is going to live on through this like spiritual successor to their line of games. It's just a shame that had to happen to them to begin with. I just feel like there was some poor decision making. I don't know why you wouldn't just have them shift to making games for the Switch. I don't know why, and also why you wouldn't be having them make new entries instead of just remastering all of the other Mario and Luigi games in an effort to, like, I don't know, like, are you even capitalizing on anything? Because I find those remasters wholly unnecessary, because, like, I mean, they change the look, but they don't expand the look. They don't improve the look. I think there's an argument that, like, they changed the art style in a meaningful or an interesting or a good way. You could like the new style better than the old one, but when I think of a remaster, the whole idea is that you are pushing the graphics forward. You're pushing them past what they were before. But the remasters of the other Mario and Luigi games, they're not like shiny and new with a new coat of paint or polish. They just look different. They're not better. They're not like graphically stronger power-wise, right? They like because everything was being released on handheld systems. Now, obviously, don't get me wrong, right? The 3DS is much stronger than the DS. That being said, though, Bowser's Inside Story on the 3DS just looks different. It doesn't look better. It just looks different, you know? And something just being different doesn't, to me, a remaster make. It just sort of makes it like, oh, you gave it a different coat of paint. You didn't give it a fresh coat of paint. You gave it a different coat of paint. But also, it's like, as somebody who still has the original copy on my DS, it's like, why would I not just play that? You know, it's cool. Like, you had a new art style for Dream Team because Dream Team came out on the 3DS. That's cool and great and fine. It's not the first time people have retroactively like gone back and updated the art style of the old thing, right? That happened with what did that happen with? People going back. I can't think of something off the top of my head, but I know not too long ago there was like a remaster of something where they kind of just updated the art style with the sequel's art style, essentially. I think that's valid. I think that's like a fine thing to do, I suppose. You got them all onto one console, which is cool. I just don't know what the point was of doing that at that time in that way. Why not move them all to the Switch? The Switch, which is shiny and brand new, and I don't know if it was out at the time. It might have been coming out, but still, it's like, I just don't know. To try to like force the studio to pump out all of those, or to force a team to pump out a bunch of remakes at the end of a console's life cycle for a series of games that, while I think they're immaculate, and while anybody who plays them has nothing but good things to say about them, they're not the most popular thing. You know, I don't think it's crazy to say that they're not the most popular thing ever. Oh my gosh, I've been already talking for almost 20 minutes about just Mario and Luigi. I can't believe this exists, but that's what I mean. Alpha Dream was gone, and then this exists, and you just drop it on us out of the blue, out of the ether? This is what Nintendo does. Nintendo, complete radio silence, no hint about anything, no teasers, no hints, no illusions, nothing. And then suddenly, boom, here's the game. Here's the game. Here's the reveal. Here's a full gameplay trailer. Here's a release date. It's coming out this year. Every time I think I'm gonna have a moment to like just choose a one-off game, something comes out and says, hey, by the way, what if you actually did a full legacy run of these? And this is crazy though, because these are RPGs. They're not short games compared to, like, I don't know, like compared to like a 2D Mario game or something, or a Metroid game, right? And yet I feel like I could go from one to the other and not even bat an eye. And I think I'm just gonna do that. I don't know what to say. And then, okay, let's swiftly move on. This seems cool. Speedrun. Pack of old games, a bunch of old games packaged together as like speedrun challenges and whatnot. You can challenge people online, up to like 20 people or something, 8 people or something. Yeah, cool. I mean, that seems sick. Seems interesting. They give you like actual like tips and like tip things and whatnot. Yeah, this stuff is interesting. Tips and tricks. That's cool. That's fine. Do I think it's like my cup of tea? No, not really, but you know, it'd be something. If I owned it, that'd be fine. This was interesting. One of the original Final Fantasy devs, and Nobuo Uematsu, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but the composer for the original Final Fantasy games. This was a mobile game. Has a very interesting art style. It's like weird, like photorealistic backgrounds with like 3D characters and whatnot.
The world is slowly being robbed of its
civilization. Has some strong Nier vibes. I mean, strong Nier vibes, which is also another thing that kind of made it interesting. A unique-looking battle system. I'm wondering how good the combat, the actual gameplay is, given that it is a mobile game. However, I'm happy to see it come on Switch, and I would actually get and play this, because I just think that the people behind it and the sort of vibe of it is really interesting.
So the ticket to
so I actually would be down to try that. Nintendo Switch Sports. Basketball. Anyways, this, you have your Ori / Hollow Knight like game. Not that everything needs to be compared with other things. Very unique art style. Very pretty. I like that sketched kind of like the shaded look, sketchy shaded look it has on. A little bit of cell shading stuff going on. Yeah, seems fine. Seems interesting. Disney Illusion. Yeah, ooh, Hello Kitty Adventure. Next LP coming right up. Stay tuned. Looney Tunes sports game, which honestly, the animations are pretty great. They're it's pretty charming. It's a sports compilation game, which leads me to believe that nothing is going to be that great in it. It's going to be a bunch of probably okay like serviceable games. Yeah, Among Us is Among Us. From game. Put tool, C tool in ground. Make profit. This. When I see Donkey Kong, in my heart of hearts, I want a new one. A new anything with Donkey Kong. Because these games have only they've only performed super well. They've only been praised every single time they come out, right? So where's the new one? Now here's the thing. This could be a signifier of, oh, the new one is coming, so to prepare yourself to sort of keep, because here's what studios do. Nintendo loves doing this. They give you a little taste of something, and then they give you, in order to prepare you for that thing coming in the future, right? Hey, what's that? You want Metroid Prime 4? Well, we don't have Metroid Prime 4 yet, but hey, you know what we do have cooking? You know what we've been cooking in the meantime? Here's an appetizer. Here's a gorgeous remaster of Metroid Prime 1. We'll get to Metroid Prime. We'll get there. Hold on. We're not there yet, but, and I think that's actually a good thing to do, right? Because one, it's great to, honestly, I give the Switch a pass to a certain extent when it comes to ports, remasters, and remakes, because it is nice to have any game moved onto the Switch, because the Switch has versatility. The Switch is a mobile console. The Switch is easily transportable. The Switch is both a stationary plug into your TV console and also a handheld, and that's great. And it's great to have any game be playable with a handheld, to be playable on the go, to be playable anywhere, to be able to be taken with you easily. That is nice. That is great. I think that's a great direction for Nintendo to have gone. Very smart, especially compared to the competitors who keep making essentially discount desktop computers that aren't as good as desktop computers, and can't be as good as desktop computers, because if they were, they would be exorbitant amounts of money. And I'm saying that as somebody who had to spend like $600 to get a PS5. Because they weren't selling them anywhere, so I had to get one secondhand, which you really shouldn't do. But for Pete's sake, I can't get you. I want your product. I can't get it, and that's not my fault. Anyways. So I give this, for the most part, a pass. Now, this is the second time a Donkey Kong announcement has been just, here's Donkey Kong Returns again. I love this game. This game's amazing. I really do. I love it. Okay, I love the Donkey Kong games. However, this being the second port of it is a bit egregious. I already see people picking it apart, being like, all the colors are wrong, the models are different, the shading's not there. Now, this game isn't coming out till next year, till January, which leads me to believe that everything we're seeing,
returns.
This might still be like early. I don't know. Oh, these shadows are here. Didn't seem fine to me. I don't know. This doesn't look substantially different from the Wii one. Because here's the thing, the Wii game actually looks really good. The Wii game has a very strong art style and is just good enough looking, power-wise and resolution-wise, to still hold up, like perfectly fine. It's fuzzy, sure. This is gonna be HD, awesome.
It's a Nintendo Switch in HD. The villainous tiki tap truck has hypnotized the local wildlife.
The cinematics are going to be crusty as heck, I bet you, unless they upscale them. Maybe they'll upscale them. That'd be great. Anyways, I'm happy to have this on Switch. I thought it was weird that Tropical Freeze was put on Switch before this game. I guess it makes sense because Nintendo has moved most of their Wii U games to Switch. They did that pretty quickly. We'll also get to that because there are a couple of things that have not been included in that group. So we'll get to that. But this is, I don't know, I like Donkey Kong Country, and like getting it again is cool. And then also I could play it's a good excuse to play all the Donkey Kong Country games. A good excuse to play through the first three, because I played through the entirety of the first one and beaten it. I have not played through the entirety of the second one, played through part of it. I have not played through the entirety of the third one. So, of the original trilogy, right? So hey, perfect excuse to do that. Then I can do that, and then I can play Tropical Freeze and cheese it in funky mode. Because I've played Tropical Freeze before, not on this channel, just I played it before on my own, right? Great game, amazing game. But I could play it in funky mode, because funky mode was a new inclusion to the Switch version. Now, you might say, oh, but that's cheating, and I would say, I don't care. I would say it's a whole new character who does a bunch of new, cool, interesting things. Why would I not do that? I don't know. Sue me. No, I probably wouldn't do that, because then you would miss out on like using Dixie, Diddy, and Cranky Kong, and that's kind of a shame. But yeah, this is fine. This is okay. I think it's crazy. I will say I do think it's crazy that it's not coming out till next year. Because of what it is. Like I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a port. Like, I know it's an HD port. There's work to be done. Nothing, new textures and new models maybe and stuff like that. But like, with slightly updated models and updated textures, there's work to be done. But like, really? we can get the Mario and Luigi game before this game. Like, that's crazy. Like, we're taking a huge step forward, and then we're taking a wild step back. I mean, this is a Wii game. That's another thing too, right? This is a Wii game. It's a Wii game. It's yeah, I don't know, just kind of odd. It's an odd choice, and which is why it makes me feel like it's pointed, you know? It makes me feel like it's pointed. Yeah, it's, you know, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's all right. I'm happy. I'm happy enough about this. Now, this is interesting. I mean, every remaster of every old RPG is just gonna be HD 2D, isn't it? Now, to be fair, I actually think that this looks particularly like pretty good. I would have loved to see the animations on the sprites for the main characters be a little stronger, a little bit more dynamic. I think it's kind of a shame that it's not. Also, leave it to JRPGs to have a very confusing release.
Monsters await.
Release style or orientation, because they're releasing 3 first, and then they're releasing 1 and 2, because 3 narrative chronologically comes before 1 and 2. I mean, so in order it's 3, 1, 2, and it's like a trilogy. But 3 was a prequel, I guess. So it's a little weird, but whatever. That's not too hard to follow. They're releasing them in the right order. I guess they retroactively made a prequel, which is, I guess, that's just how it goes.
Remake. Coming to Nintendo Switch.
These are cool, though. I mean, this is cool because it, you know, I would get to play the original Dragon Quest games for the first time, and that's pretty neat. Yeah, they. Yay! Woo. I like RPGs, so this is cool to me. This would be a good perfect moment for me to play them, and that's great. Luigi's Mansion 2, that's still a thing that's happening. Did they say when? Did they say when?
Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop.
Okay, pre-orders are available. Is Luigi's Mansion 2 the HD version? Is that like, are they struggling? Are they struggling to like get this out? Because they keep showing it, but like every time they've shown it, it looks in various states of completion, and they never tell you when it's out, or like they never give us a release window. This thing, I don't know. Metal Slug, I like Metal Slug. This, not. It's the cat game, the cat mobile game, Battle Cats. Yeah, it's Battle Cats. Darkest Dungeon 2. Hey, some cool things. Link to the Past, the Game Boy Advance version that comes with the 4 Swords thing. Then you can play 4 Swords online with your friends.
Team up online to explore
That's great.
randomized dungeons.
My wish, my hope, my dream is that on the next console they move up to at least GameCube with Virtual Console, and then they put Crystal Chronicles on it, and then they let you do the multiplayer, the tweaked multiplayer for that game. Also, if they do the GameCube version of Four Sword Adventure as well, and they fixed it. Listen, if you can alleviate all the link cable trouble with the Game Boy Advance, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to do the same for the GameCube games that need like the weird Game Boy Advance link cable nonsense in order to play multiplayer. Please do it with Crystal Chronicles. Now here's the thing, if they did it with Crystal Chronicles, they would have to admit, that would essentially be them admitting that the remake of Crystal Chronicles, or remaster of Crystal Chronicles, screwed that up big time, because it did. We should have just been able to play with our friends, couch co-op or online, and then we should have been able to exist in the same world, because it's the whole point of the game. And you decided that that you didn't want to do that. You decided you wanted to strip out the whole idea of the whole core identity of the multiplayer of that game. And I'll never forgive you. And then, oh yeah, then Turok. I have Turok. I have Turok on Switch, I think. I think I own, like, they made the HD ports or whatever. And then also Perfect Dark, which I've heard is a good game. I have not heard, I've heard that it has not maybe held up perfectly well, but whatever. This thing. Now this thing, I can't get into too much about, like, why this is the specialist thing in the world. Listen, am I a fighting game person? No. Marvel vs. Capcom games always caught my eye in the arcades. Of course they did. They look sick. It's a bunch of sick freaking Street Fighter characters, well, not even just Street Fighter characters, a bunch of sick video game characters mixed with a bunch of sick freaking Marvel characters. There's literally nothing not to like. It's just the sickest thing. The animations are beautiful.
Good out in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, New Age of Heroes.
The gameplay, it just looks cool. Everything you do in the game looks cool, which is always a plus. It's what fighting games are all about. Now, here's the thing. Am I attached personally to any of these games? No. But I'm so happy. Let me just say, I'm so happy to everybody who has been waiting for Marvel vs. Capcom 2, New Age of Heroes, like an original version of the game, to get a re-release on something. It has been the last time something came out, the last time this game came out on anything, apparently it was in 2008, and it was the Xbox version. But the Xbox version was an inherently broken game. It was like a pseudo remaster version of the game, and it broke a bunch of stuff. They did like widescreen and it broke a bunch of stuff. They did apparently a bunch of like buttons for characters just didn't work. It was a broken version of the game. This is the first, I think, if I understand correctly, because there was a whole Maximilian Dude led the whole, like, started the whole free Marvel 2. Everybody rolled with it. Everybody rolled out. Everybody showed up. Everybody needs to show up and get this. I'm gonna buy this. You don't understand. The fact that this exists is so cool that even I'm going to buy it to make sure, because everybody needs to buy this. Everybody needs to buy it for yourself, buy it for your friends, buy it for your grandma, okay? Capcom needs to understand that this is cool, that this is a good thing that they did for people, and that if they ever did something like this in the future, like a new one of these, that would also be really cool. I want this for other people. I want this for the people who it matters to most, because I get a lot of awesome things that I've always wanted. I get a lot of awesome things that are very cool for me specifically. Do I have some like pipe dream things that'll never happen? I know Coney, I heard in one of his videos, he pitched something. He was like, yo, that Link's Awakening art style, that would be perfect for Earthbound. If Nintendo ever, you know what my free Marvel 2 moment is if it's Nintendo doing anything with Earthbound ever again. Would I want them to do anything new without a toy attached to it? No, and since a toy, I respect that a toy does not seem like he is interested in doing anything else. I respect that. He said himself, I want to see other people make Earthbound. And it's like, okay, amen, brother. I'll get to it one of these days. Let me just get right on that. But the fact that Nintendo hasn't done anything of any kind with Earthbound, no real ports, no real like new versions of the games. Look at that Link's Awakening art style. Look at a Earthbound character. Tell me it's not perfect. It is perfect. We all know it would in fact be perfect. Is that exactly what I would want? No, I would want them to do the art style that the covers of the 2 Pollyanna books. The graphic novels that are compilations of a bunch of different artists making comics for Earthbound characters. The art style on the cover of those, that's my ideal. With a bunch of like 3D environments that are all made out of like 2D, like hand-drawn illustrations and stuff like that in that art style. That's and animated like that. That's my pipe dream thing that will like it'll literally never happen. They'll never do anything with Earthbound. I understand that. I guess I'm more related, like I'm more of a on the level of a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 re-release of some sort would be like if they ever did anything with Chrono Trigger. That would be great. I would also like that. One of my favorite games of all time. Probably top 10. But like, you know, I got a remaster of Super Mario RPG. I got a new 2D Mario game. That was like amazing. That was like particularly amazing, right? I got freaking 1000 Year Door. I got a new Mario and Luigi game. I'm good right now. Let me tell you, I'm good. Black Myth Wukong, an impossible game, one of those impossible games. It actually exists. Is gonna come out soon. I'm good. I'm all right. By all means, somebody else take the reins. Take the reins. Take what's yours. You know, let's go for a ride. Yeah, this is cool. This is cool, and I'm really happy with people. Genuinely, it gets me misty watching how happy other people are for stuff like this. Because I seeing people be excited for a thing is great. It's one of the most fulfilling things, you know, when people get just the thing they want. This is cool. But yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. If you don't know, there was not a version of the game that was like one of the original arcade versions, with online capabilities. You could do something. I think there's something called Fightcade, but I don't think that's an official thing. I think that's like you're emulating the old game, and the Fightcade is essentially setting up like how Parsec does it. It's like you're doing multiplayer because like somebody else is like hopping on. It's like connecting you two together, in like it's treating it like you're playing on the same quote unquote console, right? But no, like you know, this game hasn't existed in this kind of form since I think it was on Dreamcast or something. But yeah, but then look at what they do. They added freaking
hit up training mode to polish your fighting skills and combos. Select online
they have online stuff. They have ranked and normal casual play for all of these games. It's gonna have rollback netcode. Crazy. No crossplay. Understandable. It's on Switch. I don't know if Switch can do crossplay with games.
To the museum to view artwork.
A bunch of amazing art, the original art, freaking jukebox.
Marvel vs. Capcom.
I mean, hallelujah. You know, for this and also craziest thing, this showed up at a Nintendo Direct, just casually. Yeah, here it is. Here's that thing that everybody wanted. Here's that thing that everybody was rallying behind and getting trending for weeks on end. Here's that thing that people were holding signs up that were like people that was getting news coverage, that celebrities were talking about, that people were holding signs up during NBA games. Here's that thing. Like what? Here it is in a Nintendo Direct. It's like, Capcom, why did Nintendo get this? I mean, it is crazy to see Nintendo right here, Marvel right here, Capcom right here, all on one screen in the modern day. Like that's, ay. And to just drop it, and to not drop it during like a fighting game event or something like an Evo or like anything else, like a Capcom Cup or something. People's heads would have been rolling if you had done that. Whatever, you do you. Yeah, Super Mario Party Jamboree. The new Mario Party game looks more promising than the two Mario Party games that currently exist. The second one is better. The one that's basically just, but one of them. Not the Super Mario Party, the original one on the Switch, is just very bland. There's not much in it. This one looks pretty good. The maps seem pretty expansive. The mall map looks interesting. They have two old maps. The other Mario Party on the Switch that is just a bunch of old maps and stuff like that. It's okay, but it lacks. It's very like soulless, you know. Everything looks nice. It's cool to be able to look at and point at the thing and be like, hey, you remember this old stuff from the other games? It's like, yeah, that's cool, but you still, I don't know, you're lacking the grit. Where's the teeth, you know? GameCube era freaking Mario Party games, or even like N64 era Mario Party games, they got some grit, you know what I mean? They got some teeth.
trials,
this still
a
has that
battle
like
of wits,
very
and more.
Switch era.
And some are controlled by
I don't know,
shaking
something about
or
Switch
tilting
era
your
Mario
Joy-Con
spin-offs.
controllers. With over 110
The usual spin-offs, like the
wide
sports and
variety
party
to enjoy.
games, just don't. They lack a certain quality.
Also,
I don't know. I don't know what it is. Now this one, this right here. This does put a smile on my face. When I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, it's the Link's Awakening art style, right? Because it's just straight up one for one is. But it's like a new one. I was like, oh my gosh, new 2D Zelda game? Like, I was thinking to myself, oh man, here it comes. 2D Zelda, the 2D Zelda legacy is coming sooner than I thought. Not exactly. Not quite. Because then this moment happened. And then Link sunk into oblivion, but he saved Zelda at the last second because Link, that's what Link does. In 2D, 3D, don't matter. Link cannot be stopped. But then we got this. We finally have a Zelda game where you play as Zelda. It looks cute. It looks cute. I would say it feels very much in line. Aonuma actually showed up, and I think that's crazy. Is he actually the director
of the Legend of Zelda series?
Of this one too? Like, it seems very
What you just saw was
not
the
like
latest
what he's doing, because like it's essentially just a
sets off on a journey
globe-trotting
across Hyrule
puzzle
to
game.
recreate
Essentially,
it whenever
you
you'd
make
like.
tables.
Even if there's a wall blocking your path,
Zelda has all the
you can
powers of an
create
IKEA.
echoes of tables to get a leg up. Just like that.
Which is fine, which is cool enough.
You
There's
can
apparently
create
a bunch of things you
wooden
can make.
boxes, old beds,
Boxes,
and
beds, you can make
unusual-
enemies and stuff like
you
that.
can also create echoes of
Have them fight
monsters.
for you.
After
Here's
doing
the thing.
so, they'll fight by your side.
I respect the fact that they didn't just
Monsters
make
have
it, oh,
different abilities,
it's a
so
Zelda
choose
game,
the
but you're
one you want
playing
to
as Zelda
create
instead of
based
Link.
on
Because
the
then it'd be like,
situation.
okay, so it's just a
Wisdom is key after
it's just a
all.
character swap, like there's no differences. This is strange. It's experimental. It was an interesting thing to do a 2D Zelda game in the Link's Awakening art style that is a Zelda-controlled puzzle global
In a Hyrule
like puzzle
without Link,
game.
the fate of the kingdom is now
There's characters from
in
all
Zelda's
over the
hands.
place. There's character designs from Link to the Past era, character designs from Ocarina of Time, characters from all across the board. It's a really weird
Different.
hodgepodge
You
of
could
just a
pick
million things.
Just like that.
Where does it land on the Zelda timeline?
You
I
can
don't
create
care.
wooden
I don't
boxes,
care.
old
I don't really care
beds,
enough about that.
and unusual things like water blocks. How
This
you
like
use them
weird,
separately
evil,
or
like
together
dark void
is
dimension that
entirely up to
Garatina's
you.
probably in. Spooky.
Learn and create echoes of things you
A lot of
find
good
while
memes came from
exploring
this.
Hyrule.
A lot of like really cute art came from
You
this.
might be
I'm
surprised
excited.
at what you
Here's the
discover.
thing, right? I think this has such an interesting enough sort of like main
Even
gameplay
battles
gimmick
will look different. You could pick up and throw
that I
a
would
rock
be
echo,
actually
for
interested in
example.
playing this. I don't know if I would record it.
That's
It
not
depends.
all, though.
I would be
You
interested
can
in playing
also
this.
create echoes of monsters.
Even though it's
After
more
doing
in
so,
line with that
they'll
Peach
fight
game.
by
Oddly
your
enough,
side.
Zelda and Peach both getting their own solo adventures. Very cool.
Monsters have
both
different abilities,
being
so
more
choose the one you want to create
gimmicky,
based on the situation.
more puzzle driven.
Wisdom is
I would be
key,
more
after
interested in
all.
playing this. The Peach game seemed a little bit more like a game made for people who don't play a lot of games, you know? There didn't seem to be a whole lot to really latch onto as somebody who has played a lot of games. The Peach game seemed more like
In a Hyrule
here's a fun
without
thing for maybe like a younger
fate
audience, or
of
maybe
the
like
kingdom
a
is
very
now
casual
in
audience. Like
Zelda's
maybe
hands.
somebody who plays like, not to say anything about like bad. The Peach game I thought looked really good. It looked really fun. It just looked more like very simple, I think, is the thing. You jump around between a bunch of different outfits and do like a bunch of different like mini game style little gimmicky like stints throughout the world, and it's like that's cool, that's fine. It seems more in line with like maybe like a person who on the list of games they play are maybe like some sports games, or maybe some spin-off things, maybe some like maybe oh, they play like somebody who clocks in a lot of Animal Crossing in particular, right? Just somebody who doesn't play a lot of like high, like more fast-paced games and whatnot. And I'm all down to just play like a game for that's just like some simple fun, right? But this seems more my speed. This seems more like
learned how to create an imitation of it, called an
like
echo.
main gameplay mechanic
Once you
alone
learn an echo of
makes this
something,
very
you can recreate
interesting
it
and intriguing to me.
whenever you'd
Like exploring the
Even if
world
there's a wall
using a
blocking
roster
your
of
path,
like
you can create echoes of
furniture and
tables to get a
enemies
leg
and
up.
elements that you've accumulated
Just
over
like
the course of
that.
the game seems very interesting to me.
You can create
And
wooden
I'm very
boxes,
much down to see
old beds,
how it
and
is.
unusual things like water blocks. How
If
you
it's
use
too,
them
if it's just like
separately or
too on the
together
simple
is
side, or like
entirely
it's
up
like
to
too
you.
easy, then it probably won't be
Learn
my
and
favorite
create
thing.
echoes of
I
things
think,
you find
but I think
while
it looks good.
exploring
I think it's, I don't know. It
You
is.
might be surprised
It is what
at
it
what you
is.
discover.
You know, like it very much feels like what you see is what you get. Although it seems like, I don't know, they have a pretty
battles will look
expansive
different.
world. There's a lot of characters
pick
and stuff
up
like
and
that.
throw
I think
a
playing
rock
as
echo,
Zelda is
for
very
example.
interesting, obviously.
That's
Yeah, I'm
not
interested
all,
to
though.
see how it's
You
gonna pan
can also
out.
create echoes of monsters.
Interested to see how dungeons
After
go.
doing so, they'll fight
Yeah.
by your side.
Pretty cool. Also, very surprising.
Monsters have different
just
abilities,
this combination
so choose
of
the one you
things.
want to create based on the situation.
Like, I don't know.
Wisdom
seems
is
wild.
key, after all.
Yeah, this is, you know what would be a good comparison? This seems very much more in line with like a Captain Toad treasure tracker kind of a deal, right? Where it's like, yeah, this looks fine. I don't know how much this gameplay loop or gameplay style will like keep
In
me
Hyrule without
engaged.
Link,
You know?
the fate of the kingdom
But we'll
is
see.
now
Dude from freaking Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask, Deku Shub, very interesting. Just Dance. Horizon Zero Dawn Lego game. Cat game. Hobbits. This is cool. This is cool. This includes this is the Edgeworth series of games. This includes a game that wasn't released in America originally. That's always cool to get. I think that's always actually like very sick to get. So cool. People who made Danganronpa made a game. It's like a strategy social. Anyways, Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven, an actual full remake,
While
not a
challenging
remaster,
the
like an actual
legendary
full
7
remake.
heroes who have turned to darkness.
Seems interesting. I don't know anything about the
In
Romancing
combat,
Saga games.
use returning Saga features like glimmers to learn skills.
But you know
And
what?
formations to enhance abilities.
Another good reason to
Turn-based
play a
battles
classic
have also
RPG.
evolved into timeline battles.
This seems
where
like,
the
and
action
I don't know,
order is
from
key.
the look of it, it seems like it could very well
Innovative
easily be
features
like
like
the
United
definitive way to
Attack
play the
can
game.
also help with
I'm sure
strategy.
there will still be reasons to play the original one.
How will you expand your empire? And in which order will you fight the 7 heroes?
I guess it's like open-ended.
Every decision
you
you
kind of
make
like
will
choose
dramatically alter the course
where
of the
to go
story.
and where to focus and who to focus on first or whatever.
Safeguard
There's like
your empire's future
full animated
and protect
cutscenes.
your legacy from peril.
I don't know, it seems crazy.
Otherwise, the
I mean,
vengeful 7
presumably people
heroes
like
may
the
emerge
Romancing Saga
victorious.
games. Dang, some of these ladies in this trailer criminy.
Romancing
Have mercy
Saga
on me.
2,
Anyways,
Revenge of the
anyways.
Seven.
This is cool. I think this is neat. A lot of Square RPGs announced. The Fantasian Neo Dimension, criminy the name. The Dragon Quest 1, 2, 3 HD 2D remakes, and Romancing Saga full remaster or full remake. Like that's wild. And then the thing happened. And then the thing that everybody jokes about, like, oh, I can't wait to put on my clown makeup and wait for Metroid Prime 4. Is this a Galactic Federation research facility? Yeah, I wasn't sitting there screeching about it, but this does put a smile on my face. Like, it exists. It's here. It's happening. Ooh. Hallelujah. Yeah, now, here's the thing, though. Did they show anything in this trailer? No. No, even the villain, the new main villain, was lost on me because I haven't played the side games, and now I'm like, I'm gonna have to do that, huh? here's the thing. Here's what's gonna happen. You know what your boy is doing when this game comes out. This game doesn't even have a release date yet. But you know, they're showing you the usual stuff, scanning stuff, shooting guys in first person, side hopping, missiles, turning into a ball. Now this was the moment that got everybody freaking riled up. Is seeing this guy's name is Silex. I don't know anything about this guy. I somehow, for somebody who used to just Metroid Prime 4 was I mean, not Metroid Prime 4, the Metroid Prime games were the ones that I was playing when I was younger. I had not touched any of the 2D ones and had no intention to. I am now more like read up and caught up on 2D Metroid lore than the Prime games. I don't know on the Prime games. I did play all the way through 3 and beat it. Now apparently Silex was alluded to in a bonus ending of 3. I'm assuming it was like a completion bonus or something. Silex is one of the hunters aligned with all of the other hunters that are in 3 that you actually end up, spoilers, going and having to hunt down because they all get corrupted with Phazon, which is like a weird hyper drug-like energy source. It's kind of like almost like parasitic. Now here's the thing. I will play through Metroid Prime 1. Never played that game all the way through. Metroid Prime 2. Never touched that game, not even once. I played that game multiplayer before. Multiplayer was fun. I'll play through 3, and then I'll play through this game. We'll do a legacy run of the Metroid Prime games. I've been waiting because I always had the intention of doing that because this was presumably, hopefully, going to be somewhere on the horizon. Logo's cool. The name of it, Beyond, pretty sick. I don't know. Interesting. What does that mean? What does that mean? What's going on, Samus? Then they show freaking this beautiful environment, but they don't really show anything. They don't show any new things, any like new gameplay stuff, any new mechanics. They don't show any new weapons. They don't show any new abilities. They don't show any new maybe the ways in which the environments work. This looks like a huge place. Are we just gonna walk through a bunch of tree tunnels and stuff like that, or is this like a huge actual gigantic forest to roam around? I don't know. Looks like a cool environment. Huge tree in the background. Just noticed that. Looks sick. Here's the thing. A lot of things to anticipate and be excited for. Not a whole lot of things to latch onto yet. You know, outside of the Silex reveal. Now the question is, right, if I do a legacy run of the Prime games, should I include Federation Force and Hunters? I feel like I have to now. I haven't really heard those games are good, but I feel like I need to now, you know what I mean? Cuz now it's like, well now they suddenly seem very important. A bunch of people are excited that Silex showed up. I didn't know he was actually gonna show up in a Prime game that was going to be important. Presumably Prime 4 will start with a recap of some events, right? Something I saw somebody point out online, which I have to echo, I want to echo, is actually very cool to see in the Metroid games, is that between Dread and now Prime, the continuity is real. They are always moving forward. They are always moving the world forward, moving the characters forward, progressing the overarching story, right? And they're not forgetting anything. Dread does not forget anything that happens in Fusion, Other M, anything. The fact that Dread opens up and you have Alan, right? It's the dude, the AI, your AI, guy talking with you that you get in Fusion, that sort of like teams up with you in Fusion, right? That has the voice. No, that has the personality. It's like a person. Its personality is based off of her old commander who lost his life in Other M. The fact that Dread opens up and you still have that guy, you have the same ship, you have that guy, you have that AI still with you, talking to you throughout the game, saying the same quips, still saying "Got it, lady," to you and stuff like that. Incredible. It was incredible. It was especially fulfilling to have gone and sat down and like played the other Metroid games and had it actually pay off. Like they all actually felt like they were leading into Dread. It's crazy that Fusion feels like it leads into Dread because like the time gap is wild, and it's crazy that like it looks like this is gonna be the same thing. But like this is especially crazy because not only presumably is this game going to be a direct progression of the first 3 Metroid Prime games, but it seems like it seems like it's going to progress the story because Silex was part of the hunters you hunted in 3. Presumably he's back. Presumably he's pissed because of what you did to all of his friends or allies or whatever. And now he's teamed up with a bunch of pirates. And to have the spin-off games actually be important, to have the paying off the spin-off games. It's main story now. It's main plot now. That's crazy. And it leads me to believe that it would be worth it to play those 2 games. I would never play those 2 games otherwise. So, you know, despite everything, despite better judgment, I will probably include those games. I'll probably I'll do in chronological, right? So like I'll play 1, and then I think Galactic Federation Force or whatever it's called comes out after that. Where you're not playing as bounty hunters, you're playing as like the soldiers, and you're like super weak. Well, whatever. I'll play that one, and then I'll play. Does Hunters come after that, or is it 2 and then Hunters? If I could sandwich the 2 spin-off games in between the mainline ones, I think that would actually be a pretty good flow, but we'll see. Some stuff is going to have to be played. A lot of this stuff is going to have to be recorded totally legit with actual copies that I have purchased, because of course, you know, not an easy way to capture handheld games. So we'll figure that out. But you know what? This direct, the fact that I'm still thinking about this direct this long after, it's crazy. It was cool. It was actually cool. Actually, like, very sick. I'm very excited to see where things go from here, you know? But yeah. I mean, that's it for now. Hey, if you've enjoyed this, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified of more things in the future. Episodes of 1,000 Year Door coming at you just about every single day during the week. Weekends will be a bunch of random stuff. I took a snippet of me talking about multiplayer games out of my old playthrough of Mario Wonder, and I created an isolated 12-minute video that's going to come up on Saturday, so look forward to that, which should be tomorrow as of this coming up. Stay tuned for a variety of things in the future. Hey, I mean, look, it feels like I'm gonna have to go from Mario and Luigi Legacy. I feel like I'm gonna have to start that right after 1,000 Year Door. I don't feel like there's time to, because I only have till November, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months from now. But that's 4 RPGs. You know what I mean? So it would be safer to start early. They're not like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth levels of length, right? But like, it's decent. It's pretty long. I mean, they're long enough to where, like, maybe have to Like, each one would be easily over 20 parrots if I tried to keep them down to like an hour each. Easily like 20 to 30 parrots, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But that's what the future is. I mean, you know, things coming out. Would actually probably, it would be sick to play Black Myth Wukong and record that, actually. That would be cool. Anything else coming out like super soon? The Elden Ring DLC. I haven't recorded any actual Elden Ring. I actually did record Elden Ring one time when it was first coming out, and I was gonna like upload like little snippets here and there of my experiences playing that. Just never got around to doing that more. I just kind of focused on just playing the game. Yeah, nothing major that I want to do, so play it by ear, I guess. We'll just have to see. Anyways, I'm done. I've talked too much. We need some ice cream. Actually, wait. Is it? Oh, it's like 3 o'clock. It's like 3 o'clock. I should not eat ice cream right now. That would be bad?